folks, gonna do a little mic check here. You know how we do, and then we'll get right into it. First off, Hemda, what is the deal? You let people know.
Hey, what's going on? I got a lot of deals.
Richie, what is the last movie you saw in a movie theater?
Happy Death Day to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a shame. That's
I
rough.
went for the popcorn.
Okay. They tried to scientifically make it make sense, right?
Huh?
You saw the first one, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, okay. Hey, folks, gonna do a little mic check here. You know how we do, and then we'll get right into it. First off, Hemda, what is the deal? You let people know.
Hey, what's going on? I got a lot of deals.
Richie, what is the last movie you saw in a movie theater?
Happy Death Day to you.
I just wanted to hear it twice. All right. We'll play this little ditty, and then we'll start. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Here he is, host of Unguided Nations. I saw the videos, and now I'm listening to the brand new podcast.
Everyone was waiting so long till he returns to the show.
He is alive.
And a legend.
Richie Tolway.
Hey, alive. That's my credit now.
Richie was like, first of all, Richie.
He didn't kill himself.
Remind me how old you are.
I'm 30.
Okay, 30 years old. He saved up. I'm looking at last time you were on in August, the show notes, August 2018. Saved up $27,000 moving people
like a crazy person.
by himself. He would take a couch, carry it by himself.
On his over his shoulder, like he's a barbarian throwing a woman over the shoulder and carrying her to the bed.
Somehow
Well, that makes me sound creepier than I
know,
am.
yeah, that came out really
Just
bad.
couches.
I'm sorry.
No women, just couches.
he somehow maneuvers these down steps. I've moved things with people, of course, like we all have. And I see the steps take a turn, and I'm like, well, I'm out. If you have ideas, I guess we can do something. But this couch lives here now. So anyway,
yeah, there's some furniture that was left behind just because I'm not moving that.
Of course. But so he makes some bank, and he goes, you know what?
And he's taking such chances. You are walking into an apartment going, I will be able to live this by myself the whole time.
Well, apparently he can. And he says, now I'm going to take that money and find myself, right? Guy never heard of mayor for all the moves he's doing. So he's got to find himself. It's funny when you find yourself, it has to be in other countries. So he goes, I'm going to...
You've never been there, but you're going to go find it.
Right. Let's see if it's in Bangkok.
Let's see if I'm in India.
So he's going to go to all these countries and learn so much. And I can't wait to hear all the things he learned.
It's the best
you
when...
will be disappointed because I'm dumb as fuck.
I hear people, they come on this show and they go, I just did acid. I learned a lot. And I say, what did you learn? They go, be nice. I'm like, oh, okay. Apparently there was acid in my bloodstream because I knew that one.
Apparently there was acid in my kindergarten because that's what I learned.
Yeah. Share things you're supposed to. Oh, great. All right. Your brain's broken, but good for you. So you're going to start, I believe, you were starting in London and the places that made sense and then start going to the more foreign areas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Places that made sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, London's just New York. That's not the big adventure.
Right.
So it's places that speak your language.
Yeah. It was fun being in. I enjoyed being in places where I didn't understand anything.
Finally, people weren't talking to you.
Well, it was nice to not eavesdrop. Honestly, it was nice to not be able to eavesdrop. You just don't. You're in your own world. You can't read anything. You can't hear anything. Like it just doesn't matter. It's very isolating.
Was anybody? Did you feel you were getting an attitude? You're the American.
Ooh, I was very careful. I was like trying to be careful and not be the American.
Right.
Like I played poker in London, and I was like. There was food menu items all over the place. And I was like, "Do you guys eat in the poker room?" They're like, "Yeah, you idiot. There's menus for a reason." And I was like, "I just don't want to be the American that's like eating, you know? Like I was trying to be careful."
It's funny. It's funny. What is American? Like I don't want to be eating in front of you guys. You already think we're fat fucks.
Right. An unmarried couple gets arrested in Saudi Arabia for holding hands, and I'm thinking, why would you assume you could? You know, would you look up all the different rules for each country? Would you be trepidatious about making any move that would otherwise be normal? I would. I wouldn't kiss a person. We'd have to hide out in the hallway somewhere. I don't know what these rules are, and it's not my place to guess them.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd Google everything.
I was trying to represent.
Good.
Positively.
So, how many days were you out and about with 20?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
How did the money go?
It's gone.
Okay. Okay.
Were you down to the last dollar?
No, so I came. Let's see. I came back with. Shit. Let's just get my finances out here. I won that money in the game show, and that did not go to my student loan. I'll just admit that.
Oh, wait. Oh, so they don't have... Okay, so you were on a game show.
True TV has a show called Paid Off.
Right.
And you win money, and then they will pay off your student debt in this case?
Right. I had to verify whatever my student loan debt was.
What was it?
It was $9,800 or
That's
whatever.
not bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. What sucks actually too is I had a statement from a law firm that was like $12,000, and I found out right before the show that was like including a bunch of their legal fees. But I totally could have just turned that into the show and gotten like 12 grand.
Right.
Like because I thought they were just going to, directly pay off. And I'm
I
like,
see.
So the show is trivia show, right?
It's a trivia show, yeah.
Which very general about everything.
It's pretty silly. Like
Yeah, it was silly. It has a message. It's like we're trying to pay off your student. Like everybody wins all the money they get. That they get.
It's not tough questions. It's not Jeopardy.
Right. It was like some of them were like Family Feud style, or kind of like top answers on the board or whatever.
Oh, okay. What's an example? Which one made you nervous?
Oh, it was like if you could. We asked 100 college students if you could go back and like meet any dead musician, what would it be?
I guess whichever one smells the least, right?
I would say Jesus Christ.
Musician?
Well,
Probably.
I don't know.
Get those
What instrument did he play?
He chanted a lot. You ever been to church? Something's going on, right? But I guess I would have lost.
I feel like Jesus is a tambourine player.
I feel like the Jews are a very musical people.
Okay. I feel like we're into theological territory that I have no knowledge about.
So who did most people want to see? Jimi Hendrix?
Dude,
Elvis?
I thought Jimi Hendrix right away.
I think it was like Elvis and the Beatles. They had to re-ask it. We all buzzed in, and no one got any of the answers, any of the top three. They had to re-ask that question. That's the only reason I remember it.
Who was it?
Like it was Family Feud style, so it was you just try to guess the top answer. But I think it was like Kurt Cobain. No, I guessed Kurt Cobain. And they were like, no, nobody said Kurt Cobain. I think it was like just Elvis or the Beatles or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Some
That makes
boring
sense.
answer.
So when you win, did they give you the money and then it's up to you, or did they?
Yeah. They just send me the check.
Oh, so they don't send it directly to the school. You can do whatever you
I
want.
thought they sent it directly to the school.
See, that's how you can keep fucking yourself. Like, oh, well, I can just go live somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this wasn't during
the trip?
The trip.
It was. And I had no idea. They don't pay you until your episode airs. And they did not inform me that my episode was airing. My parents were watching. They would like check the schedule coming up, and they're like, "Were you on with someone named Jatori?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're scheduled to air like tomorrow or whatever." So I was like, "Okay, cool. The check's in the mail then."
Right, because my money's dwindling here in a foreign country.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't dwindling too bad, but it was just good to know that I kind of considered 10 grand on the way, and finally I was like, "Yeah, it's for sure in the mail."
Okay, and
did you spend any of it on the college?
No.
No, but that's done.
No, I'm not paying. I'm never gonna pay that. That's such a. It's such a scam.
You're never gonna pay.
I'm gonna wait for the U.S. government to just crumble, and Sally Mae to admit that they're just like giving worthless student loans for worthless degrees.
Don't they take it right out of your bank account after a while?
Well, they haven't yet.
I don't think so. I think there's something.
Or garnish your wages? Or
No,
something?
They can't. I mean, no, but like you can't get rid of federal debt even in bankruptcy or anything like that. It'll be there, but something's got to give. Like that is the next mortgage crisis waiting to happen. Is the student loan crisis?
I feel like it's something where does that show up on your
Credit?
On your credit? I don't think it does.
Yes, it definitely does.
Does Oh, it does?
No, trust me.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
get an apartment right now. It shows up.
Do they count that? Like it affects?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I would think nobody's paying.
Well, apparently some people do.
Right?
People have 6 like normal degrees and 6-figure.
Oh yeah, like $300,000 student loans. It's just like it's a way to keep us.
What did they teach you?
It's a way to keep us just working, slaving away forever.
It'd be better to get your first 5 years of work, like right after high school. I'm just going to volunteer to work here for free. And then, okay, you're not paying me, but I'm not paying you. And then you just kind of learn. Apprentice shit.
No, there is no. We're all told there's that famous quote where it's like socialism never caught on in America because we see ourselves as unfortunate millionaires or whatever. Like we're all waiting. We're all told that the $1 million check is in the mail,
Right.
rather than like the abused proletariats. I think that's the rest of the quote. But like we're abused poor people. We're all so poor, in reality. But we all just think like, no, eventually I'm going to start a business and I'll be, rich.
Right.
And we vote as if we're already millionaires. Like, I don't want the government taking 40%. They're not going to because you're poor, dude. They're not going to take 40%. You're never going to get to that tax bracket.
Right. When you see people vote against their best interest,
Right,
it's like,
right.
no, who do you think you are?
Also, people fantasize about winning the lotto and then go, oh, man, but, everyone's going to want me to pay for things. I don't know. More money, more problems. I'm like, why don't you find the problem when you get there?
Yeah.
When somebody so you win 10,000.
I won 10,000.
And somebody else, if they own more debt, do they win more money?
No, so you answer questions, you get money in your bank or whatever, and the lowest person goes out in the first round. So like someone got like $1,000,
Okay.
and then I studied, like I knew I flew
Like a
myself
college
I flew
person.
myself to Atlanta on my own dime. They didn't pay for any of this. I flew myself to Atlanta. I got myself an Airbnb, and I was like, I'm winning this show. So like I was studying, I was getting ready, like
How do you study?
just like I was doing trivia. I was like just doing
He
trivia
starts
apps.
surveying people.
No, I was just doing like trivia apps and like just getting used to like, getting in like that
Thinking that
test
way.
taking mode kind of. I was like figured out how the buzzer worked. The chick next to me like got really pissed off. She's like, "Oh, I guess it's all about how you buzz or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, it is. If they're telling you how to win the game show, like
How did you know how to buzz?
I just like I was feeling out how the sensor worked or whatever.
It's like as soon as the question's done or that kind of
Well,
thing.
yeah, they said whenever this like green light behind the host goes on is when you can do it. So obviously when he stops asking the question, just start tapping rapidly, And whenever that light comes on, I'm gonna be the one because I'm tapping. I don't know, but then
I do see on Jeopardy there are people who are aggressively clicking
Right.
and they miss it every time.
Whereas
and you can see.
she was like waiting for the green light and then trying to tap it exactly. It's like, come on, dude. So I was buzzing in more.
Right, just buzz and then go for it.
Yeah.
Although these people on Jeopardy, this is what I would do too. I'd show the camera I'm buzzing, like, oh no, it didn't take, as if I had a clue. Oh, I can't get this buzzer, the smartest
Right.
man alive, me. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
So I had the most. I had like $3,000 or whatever, $3,000, and then you go into the final round where it's like a lightning round of questions, and you
Okay.
can choose to either answer general trivia questions or questions about your major. And I said questions about my major, like business marketing.
Okay.
And if I answered like 8 in a minute, then I got my full student loan debt. And up to that was like a percentage or whatever. So yeah, I banged out like the first 8 questions.
It is funny, people that don't pick my major. No,
Yeah, some
not my major.
Yeah.
Everything else. No,
Ask
but,
me anything about, except for what I was studying.
but please pay it off. But no, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you pick your major? They're not going to go deep into your major.
Right.
They're going to do like 101 type shit.
What people consider to be your major.
Like pop culture major.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I
marketing.
was able to answer some of the questions that you were asked because it's like, how deep are you going to really go?
Right, exactly.
We were talking yesterday about Operation Varsity Blues, where these somebody was taking SAT tests to get him into Ivy League colleges. Made the news because of the celebrities in it.
Right.
Felicity Huffman, the great Aunt Becky from Full House.
Yeah.
What do we think of that? It's just the way it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, oh, what? Rich people are rigging the system?
Right.
I mean, who's surprised? I don't know. It just doesn't surprise me. It's just like, yeah, of course.
It doesn't surprise me, but isn't it fun that things are being illuminated?
Yeah, I guess I don't really know how deep of the, like, there's people resigning or something. I just don't know what the repercussions are.
Without exaggeration, the FBI came to Felicity Huffman's house with guns drawn. To me, that's very fun.
That's pretty funny. Then. That's pretty great.
Every role she ever plays, she's a bitch. And I don't know. She's so good at it that I wonder.
The aunt on Full House is a bitch?
No,
the other one.
Felicity Huffman.
Yeah.
She always plays a schemer.
Yeah. I mean, eat the rich. So, yeah.
Right.
I'm all for it.
So what is the best country out there?
I really like beach, so Barcelona was great.
Okay.
And it's Barcelona.
Barcelona, I know.
Barcelona.
It's so weird how people insist on doing that. I'm just like, stop it.
Well, what's strange to me...
This London chick I was hanging out with, she kept saying Ibiza. And I'm like, it's Ibiza.
Right.
Ibiza. No, it's not. It's like, what are you doing?
Why did we change it, though? Is it...
It's a Catalonian accent. You pronounce it in the Catalan... But, like, we don't call Germany Deutschland, like...
Right. I can understand saying it in your accent, but what kind of power play did America do with these globes that we changed it from Brazil with an S and we made it a Z? Why? Fuck them?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's a Z. No, it's an S. No, it's not.
Brazil. I don't know.
It's just funny to me. So when you're in Spain, do you realize, hey, it turns out everybody speaks Spanish? Like, do you know your way around? Do you know where Maria is?
What?
It doesn't sound like a hard language, right? You know where a bathroom is in Spain.
Oh,
Barcelona.
Well, like Catalonia, it is a bit different, but I mean, for the most part, people spoke English. Like the only place that I really was struggling was China, because China has their own economy. They don't give a shit. They don't need to learn English.
Okay. Now I saw in these videos, luckily, you had a benefactor of sorts, right? Somebody that gave you some equipment and this kind of thing. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But what does he want in return? Just to like sucked off a little bit, right? Does he say, "Hey, I will give you this equipment, but you film some stuff for me also"?
Yeah. He wanted me to film like he wanted a travel vlog. So the story, like, I was on a plane to Prague, and this guy was sleeping on me pretty much. Like he was leaning over, and I wanted to yell at him for 2 hours. I was like, "This," like I was so mad. I didn't say anything. I just bit my tongue, and I was editing quietly. At the very end, he just looks over. He goes, "What are you editing for?" And I'm like, I was like, "Oh, you're watching me this whole time." I was like, "You're sleeping." But he wanted a travel vlog, but he didn't want to put in the work. You know, he's like, "Yeah, I travel a lot. Maybe we can cross paths or whatever." And it worked out because I was traveling anyways. You know, to pay someone to like leave their home to travel with you is a lot versus just having me kind of work my way around.
Yeah. So everybody's winning, it seems.
Yeah, I guess. No.
Okay. Why did it go bad?
It's because when we were like going to places I didn't want to go, for one.
How did that happen?
Fun. I mean, because he was like going to work events. He's like he had to work a lot. He was like in Bitcoin, like all these different cryptocurrency startups. So he's going to all these different like conventions.
Do you take the time to ask him, "Hey, I don't know if this is out of line, but here's $100. Buy me some crypto."
What?
Do you ever?
I have crypto.
You're into it.
Yeah, I don't need. I don't need him to buy me crypto. I know how to buy
would.
crypto.
I'd say buy me 10 crypto, please.
Buy me 10 crypto.
Yeah.
10 crypto. You just empty your piggy bank.
Right.
1 crypto.
How much money have you made from crypto?
Me?
Yeah. Sounds cryptic.
Yeah, a couple thousand.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best one going today?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm a gambler. I quit gambling, but I still have a little bit of money in crypto, so it's hard to like tell myself that I actually quit gambling because it's just I have my money in the stupidest market right now.
Like
I never looked into our Tron. We might be millionaires.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you have Tron? How many Tron do you have?
I don't know.
I have the
5 or 10.
No, I bought the arcade on eBay. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. We gave our friend like $100 and said, "Please."
Buy Tron?
And
now we're just living our life and letting the money work for us.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice, dude.
Real nice. So you're not gonna find yourself working these conventions and
No.
business?
I was in like 5-star hotel lobbies, just like with a bunch of. I filmed one thing. I didn't put it out there, but I was like, it's just a bunch of nerds talking about how they're gonna revolutionize the payment industry, and it's just like it's so boring. It is the most like boring startups in the world.
How long were you with this guy traveling?
I think like a month total.
Okay. Out of how many?
Long time.
Yeah, not straight, but it was like we had all these plans. You know, he was like, yeah, we're gonna go shooting. We're gonna go to a shooting range, and we're gonna go see this and see, bungee jump and all this stuff. And none of it happened. None of it. It was just all work. And like he would cancel on me. He'd have to take a business call or whatever. And it was like I was just at his beck and call, kind of. And he'd be like, all right, we're gonna go film right now. Like, drop everything. Let's go. And I'm like, this is not what I wanted to do with this. So.
I'm supposed to be eating weird food that somebody on the internet told me to do.
Yeah, I ate so much weird food.
What's the weirdest?
Duck's bill. Duck's mouth.
And they charge for that? What the fuck?
How do you have that? In a sauce?
No, it's literally a ripped off duck's jaw, cut in half, and you just nibble on the little part of the tongue.
How do they cook that though?
Like fried.
You fry it.
But it's just a bone. It's just a huge piece of bone with this little tiny nibble of meat, like dark, gross, fatty meat.
Is it good? You said fatty. No,
it wasn't that good. I mean, there's not much there.
How much is it?
It was in Thailand. I mean, I don't know. It was like $1. Yeah, $1 or something.
You see any weird shit like the boys prostituting themselves?
Yeah, the lady boys.
Yeah,
which is what they call themselves. It's not an offensive term.
I'm gonna beat you up.
No, just saying. I mean, like some people are like, don't. It's trans, but it's like, no, it's a ladyboy culture. They have ladyboy shows and all that. Yeah, no, there's all over the place.
Okay.
There's streets in all these Thai tourist cities.
How do you feel about prostitution? I mean, getting one. Not into it.
No, I'm not into casual sex. Period. But it's just like not a fun thing for me. But I've dabbled, and it's just not that enjoyable. It's just like it's kind of gross at the end of it.
Did you dabble on this trip? Because you got to see what they're doing in these countries.
I might have.
Really?
Maybe.
No, we're not going past this.
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
what's your flavor?
Like there's like massage parlors. So it was actually kind of a bummer because sometimes you just want a massage. Like massages in Thailand, they're like $3. No, but there's like three. They're like you get a massage for $3. It's an hour-long massage for $3. But you go in, and as an American, you're used to oil massage. You always, they're always massaging you with the Swedish massage or whatever. But that leads to the sex massages. You have to go and get Thai massages only because Thai massages are clothes on. They leave the clothes on and all that stuff.
Oh, that's a bummer because I want a naked massage, but don't touch me in my privates.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they do with women. But, like, you'd go in there, sometimes you'd be like, yeah, oil massage, and they're just, like, slapping. They don't even know what they're doing, and you're like, oh, it's one of those places. Well, I guess if we're here,
Okay, so it wasn't actual sex. It was just masturbating you?
Yeah. Okay. One time, and then sex one time. But
okay, but the sex one time was with that massage bullshit.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know. You don't like casual sex?
No.
But
he still got a report. I don't want him going all these countries, finding himself in those. I
mean, it just wasn't that enjoyable. I was like,
why'd you say yes? Why'd you go for it? I'm just curious.
Unguided nations. Hello.
Because I have no backbone. No, I don't know.
Did you
really?
Want
it's just like not really. No, it feels gross. I don't like any relationship where there's like a power dynamic. It's just like I'm in a third world country. It feels gross.
I'd be so scared. It'd be rated and I'm dead.
It'd be what?
I was just saying, nervous about other countries' rules. I don't think I would. I could risk it.
Well, they turn the blind. I mean, they turn a blind eye to it. It's like practically legal on these these certain streets or whatever, but it's just like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good.
How did it happen? So she's touching your back like gross.
Yeah. It's just like not a great massage or whatever.
When did you get hard?
I mean, I hardly did. It was like pretty bad sex. No. I wasn't that into it. It's just like, all right, well.
Did you come?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Because you look grossed out right now. You look embarrassed.
Yeah, no, it's Well, I mean, we've talked about this. Sex is uncomfortable for me. Period. It's just a weird topic for me.
So was it out of politeness? Really?
No, it's just like a shameful thing. I don't know. Sex is so covered and like riddled in shame for me. That's still a thing. So.
What do you think I'm thinking as you're telling me this story?
You're judging me. But I'm judging myself, It's just like I'm not proud of it.
What if I told you that I feel nothing about the story and that you did it
I mean, someone does somewhere. I do. Like it's
what
just
do you
like,
think of yourself?
it's just like, yeah, you didn't have to do that. I mean, sure you did, and at some point I'll forgive myself or whatever, you know. But
what was bad about it?
It's just gross. Like I was in these at this AA convention, and there's just so many. They call them sex pats. There's just gross old white men with girlfriends that are 30 years their junior. It's just like, how can you go to bed thinking that she likes you?
Wait a minute. This is an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting?
Yeah.
It's a convention.
It's a convention. I mean, alcoholics are not, sober people are not good people. They just don't drink. But it's like all of Thailand. It's just a bunch of old white dudes going to bed with like 20-year-old Thai women.
That's the one topic they have to ignore: relationships at
No,
these
they
AA
don't.
meetings. They
They
have to.
don't.
No, they don't. No, no. In Bangkok, people were like, "Hey, man, you can do whatever you want here. Just don't drink." And I'm like, "No, I don't. That's not the life I want to live. I don't want to be out like sleeping with prostitutes."
And what was gross about it? That she doesn't care about you?
Yeah. It's just like it's
There's
such a fleeting thing. Like,
did you hope that it would feel good?
We talked about this. Like, so I was like sexually active at like 6. Like I was turned on to sex at 6, right? So I've had that point in my life about where you're obsessed with sex and obsessed with like coming and all that stuff. It's just I'm over it.
Just
like,
to be clear, so you were abused or same age?
What?
What happened at 6?
No, I could masturbate at 6.
Okay.
Like, or even younger, like, but I could like orgasm at like 4 or 5 or 6, like very, very young. And I remember my brain being wired to be like all the time, like a 13-year-old, but it was like for 10 years of my life, I was just like fixated on it.
School would have to be so boring, right? Like the alphabet, who cares?
I know, I want to come.
Did anyone...
Your boy's trying to get a nut.
Did anyone touch you inappropriately?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so, no. But
you just burnt out.
Burnt out, but it's also like nobody was into it, I tried to like flirt or whatever, and I'm like, no. I
What do you like when you're
as
flirting?
a kid,
What's a flirt to
as
you?
a kid, I thought I was a pedophile. Like I knew what that was because I wanted to have like I was 10 and I wanted to have sex with a 10-year-old, and I was like, you can't do that because having sex with a 10-year-old is illegal, even though I was 10.
Wow, who's putting that in your brain?
I'm a fucking psychopath. I don't know.
I'm a weirdo, Panda.
No, I was given like adult information. I know that I was kind of treated as an adult as a child. So like I was given information. I was treated smarter than I was, and I was given information, I think, from adults that I didn't actually have the emotional fortitude to handle.
Do you think they meant it in a good way? Like,
probably, yeah. They meant it innocently. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're smart. You can handle knowing these things." And it's just like, no, I shouldn't.
What didn't you want to know?
Just things about my parents' marriage, or like there was one point where my sister went to therapy for like self-esteem issues or whatever, and she was, I think, jealous of me because I tested into advanced classes, but I was told that she was going to therapy for self-esteem, and she wasn't told that. So as like a shitty 8-year-old little brother, at some point when we were fighting, I was like, "You're only going to therapy because you have low self-esteem and you hate yourself," and it's like, that's so fucked up. I should have known that, I shouldn't have had that weapon to use, and it felt so bad.
Goodness, Richie. You are holding back to so fucking much. That's a lot to hold on to.
Oh, I have so much guilt.
Holy shit! Fuck your sister.
I'm like
Who gives a
talking.
shit?
No, I know, but I'm just like I'm working on it with my therapist. I'm just like I'm so guilty about everything. I'm like eternally guilty.
Shit.
I feel so bad about everything I've ever done. But
wow. That's a lot.
Going forward, I don't. I'm not. I'm learning how to just do things for me and not feel horrible about them. But I'm still holding on to a lot from the past.
Man, there's going to be a
Do
game.
you relate at all to this?
No, he's insane. He's going to have to go on a game show that covers your therapy bills. This
And I relate to a lot of it. I've let go of a lot, but I can't see Keith relating to it because he's like, I don't get it. If you don't like it, just don't do it.
Well, first of all, I was told nothing. I'm the opposite of Richie.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I didn't masturbate till I was 18. That's not an exaggeration. So no, I can't. I really can't relate to this stuff. I do want to get back, of course, to the guy that was paying your way. But you know what's good at the end? You're fit. You know that you can take care of yourself if push came to shove physically. And I mean that. And I'm bringing it up now because it fits with what I'm talking about, this new way to work out that I use, Noom. Noom, Khemda.
Oh, and you're dating a
fitness instructor.
That's right.
And
so
she's
you know your
proud.
shit.
Yeah, sticking to a weight loss plan can be hard, especially when you don't know how to handle the thoughts and obstacles that hold you back. Most people lose weight, but what happens? They gain it back. Because most weight loss plans, they tell you what to do, but there's not a plan to it. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's the important part. That's why Noom can help you live a healthier lifestyle. Okay?
Tell us how, Keith.
I will.
Thank you.
See, Noom is designed for results. It's out with the old habits, in with the new. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/KATG. Different results call for a different approach. Learn, don't diet. Build new, better habits for you. Recognize and change habits, blocking your success. Weight loss in the palm of your hand, literally. I'm talking apps.
Yeah, you've been to a gym. You walk around. You don't even know what the machines do. You got to ask some dude. It's very weird. You got to like wash down their things.
I don't have to wash down my phone after every workout. What do you have to lose? Visit Noom, Noom.com/KATG to start your trial today. Again, that's Noom.com/KATG. Start losing weight for good. So, Richie, you're walking around with this guy, and when you're in I'm saying how I would be nervous in a foreign country as is.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about this guy's attitude in foreign countries? Because now each of you represent the other person in a way. Did you have a good attitude?
No, it wasn't super fun. I mean, it was like, no, he just wasn't like enjoying culture. You're insulated. When you're staying in 5-star hotels, you're insulating yourself from the outside world, you know? Like, I wanted to stay at the cheaper places. I mean, not always, but, you know, I just didn't want to be in hotel lobbies. And, like, literally, like, every problem, he'd just be like, oh, we'll just have the concierge do that. And I'm just like, how do you live like that?
And and your thing was to find yourself. You're not learning anything.
Yeah, find myself, find culture, like, talk to the people. I mean, I love talking to the people that are down low, you know? Like, that's where you just really get in with the people.
What was his race?
German.
Was he okay with other races? Was there a problem there?
You know,
he had low attitude.
He had a little attitude. Sometimes it was just.
You had to say eventually, hey, it's too much?
Huh?
Did you have to say, hey, this is too much? Or
yeah,
did you finish?
I mean, I just slowly. I mean, like, even to this, like, he still owes me a little bit of money, and I still owe him a video, and, like, he's just not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. We're just kind of like, we left it at that.
How many countries you visit?
21.
Well, somebody's lying to you. There's not 21 countries. There's good Europe. There's Asia.
Good Europe.
When did you? I saw online that you went to Texas. You visited your mom, right?
Arizona.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Somewhere hot and arid.
Yeah.
And then did you go back on your?
Yeah. So I left China. I did a round trip from China to Arizona for Christmas. That was just a 2-week little reprieve.
That sounds like that's all the money, right? How much is that?
It was $500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was crazy cheap.
Whoa.
To fly round trip from Shanghai to Phoenix and back.
I'm not going to Pittsburgh. I'm going to China.
I think
it's crazy.
Flying internationally is way cheaper. It's something about the U.S. Flying out of the U.S. is insanely cheap. Like, I was looking at it. Even flying from Phoenix to Shanghai and back was way more expensive than vice versa.
I saw you were going through a time in one of your videos, maybe even suicidal, and then you get depressed. And you ran into a person that was suicidal. In what country was this?
Liverpool.
This was like right away, right?
This was, like 3 weeks in.
So right away you end up depressed. Do you think this is a terrible idea? Or, this is just my chemistry?
It was just rainy. And I was just, I'm not used to being alone. I mean, that was the first, like, within the first 3 weeks of just being alone all the time. And, it was like rainy and just kind of shitty, and I just couldn't get out of bed for a few days.
That's got to feel worse because it's like now you're not getting out of bed for a few days in a hotel when you're supposed to be filming.
Yeah.
You're spending money.
Right. You're just like, what am I doing? And it's just like, there was many times where I'd talk to my buddy Austin back home. He's like, did you do this to impress a bunch of open micers in New York? Like, what, you're not getting enough views on your video? Like, what do you care about here, And it's just, I never, like, even put it in perspective. There were times where I would still want, like, validation about what I was doing rather than, like, oh, no, I'm doing, like, one of the coolest things I'll ever do in my life.
Well, those are your friends now. You're not there with anybody.
Right.
So you have to be with them virtually.
Right.
So you see this guy on the street, and he's talking about killing himself. And in the video, I see you saying to him, okay, don't. So, all right, you weren't trained in it. So you tell him, don't. I'm going to come back tomorrow, and hopefully you'll still be around. And somehow the two of you uplifted each other, right? No, none of this happened. Am I watching another video?
I didn't say no, or I'll be back. I talked to him. Okay. I didn't include all the conversation, but I sat and just talked with him because he's like there was a bunch of high school kids and they were like, you're a YouTuber, blah blah, and it was like this big happy thing.
Right.
And my depression had just broke, so I was like laughing and everything. And he called me over. He's like, I'm gonna kill myself. He said, I'm not like you people. I can't do what you guys do. Just be happy like that. And I was like, dude, I have an antidepressant in my pocket that I have to take still. And I sat and talked to them, and I was like, dude, you know, you're not alone. Like, it's the isolation that gets you.
Right.
And so I just sat and talked to them, you know, for like 10 minutes.
But you asked them to promise not to offer
I did,
himself
yeah,
today.
yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I gave him 20 pounds, and you know, just kind of.
Like that's how much you work out. You give him like a weight. You're like, dude, get the endorphins.
Yeah, dude. Give me 10 bicep curls on each side and tell me you still want to kill yourself.
No one can do that.
Now, speaking of your pills,
It was just when someone says I'm going to kill myself, you have to just take that as fact. You can't be like, come on, you know. You just say you're there. You're at that phase where you feel like there's nothing but pain, you know?
Was it maybe this is a little spiritual, was it your job to be there at that moment, or it just worked out?
I think it just worked out.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't believe in, like, hero, you know, like, I don't know. It was serendipitous, you know? It does just as good for me as it did, hopefully, for him, you know? Like, it felt great for me to be there, so.
So then you started feeling better. And like a lot of people who take meds for their brain, they're like, oh, I'm better now. I'm going to get off these meds.
Yeah, I'm so quick to be healed.
Yeah, so you got off, but did you tell your doctor that you were just going to stop taking it?
No.
You
I
just
didn't. Well,
decided.
I wasn't talking to any doctor either. I just like loaded up with as much as I possibly could before I left, and kind of like was gonna just cross that bridge when I came to it. And I was looking at like the nightmare of what it would be trying to get like a psychiatrist in Europe to prescribe me the same drugs and all this shit. So I was just like, that's gonna be such a nightmare.
Why do all you crazy people want to get off the pills? Is it because it affects you sexually, or is it because
Wellbutrin doesn't do any of that.
Okay, so is it just I'm weak if I take pills, so I don't want to be on pills? Is it that simple?
There's definitely some of that where it's like, I don't want to take this forever. I don't want to be, you know, have to wake up every day and pop a pill.
But why not? You know, I wake up every day and take a multivitamin. Who cares?
I'm crossing over to that bridge, you know, to that.
Maybe
that
when people,
thought.
maybe when you take a vitamin, people go, oh, you got to take a vitamin like a crazy person. It might put a stigma on it.
Nah, everybody's doing it. Who cares?
Hey, the way you crazy people work, is this normal?
Well, see, you gotta slap them around a little bit, so they wake up and go, "Oh yeah, there's a reason I'm on these pills." Everybody goes, "You know what? I'm feeling better. I don't think I need to be on them." No, that's why you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Oh, so you always give them a reason to stay on.
Yes,
A true American hero.
that's right. That's right. Was it tough to stay sober over there, being by yourself also?
I didn't really want to drink that much. I wouldn't have done, you know, like, because I drank for the, like, towards the end of my drinking, I was drinking for the hangover. Like, I just wanted to not feel. I wanted to like kill my brain, you know. So it's not like I didn't miss the first beer. I missed the 10th beer. I missed the like being absolutely just wasted and then hung over for 3 days. So I was seeing things, you know. I was trying to be positive, be present, you know. And I wouldn't have done anything that I wouldn't have seen half the things that I saw if I was hungover, you know, and out drinking all the time.
But what happened when you're not on the pills? Not on the pills. When you're not taking your meds.
I got pregnant. Oh.
You're not going to AA. You're sober. Did you have enough recovery to kind of coast through?
I mean, I filled up my tank, so to speak, with you know, all the AA stuff, and like I can do this, and then you end up running on fumes, and it's just like I got real crazy and just. Did
you become restless, irritable, and discontent?
Is that a saying?
That's a thing. Like when you first come in, you're like, we understand that your life is unmanageable, and you've become restless, irritable, and discontent.
Rid.
Dur. I prefer dur.
What's dur stand for?
Just that backwards.
Oh, you can make it your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got erd.
They got humors over there in AA. I get it.
They do.
Did you find that because you were alone? You're getting angry,
right? Yeah, I was just getting angry all the time. I was, you know, breaking
I could see
stuff.
you getting angry.
I'm a very angry person.
Yeah, I could see you like not punching people, but punching walls.
Right. I would never hurt another human, but I would love to hurt myself.
What did you break?
Huh?
What did you break? What are you throwing around?
I smashed my phone over my knee
Jesus
in
Christ.
China.
That's how fit you are, right?
Yeah, right? I was going to say, there's a lot of fat around the knee, no? What's going on?
Oh, no, it's all bone. All bone and muscle. I found out, apparently. I just whacked my phone, and I was like, well, I busted. I mean, it just like blew up on me, so...
That's fun in a different country.
So here's what they say about the phone. They say that glass is the same glass that they use on helicopters. You could break a fucking helicopter with your knee. This is crazy.
You don't want to see the last helicopter that fucked with me, dude.
You have a lot to live for. You're a super weapon.
What else do you do? Do you like lose your shit? Just get mad? Yell at the wrong people?
I feel really bad even when I take it out on people. Like, I used to be a person that, you know, like at restaurants, not that like I was mean to service people, but like when things don't work right. When I order something on Amazon and it says 2 days and it's not there at 2 days, the world is broken, you know?
You
like,
honestly sound more Al-Anonic than alcoholic.
I don't know what that means.
Andrea, can I get a second?
Can I get an
amen?
An Al-Anon amen?
Oh, are you diagnosing him now? Sure. Al-Anon is for people who deal with alcoholics. It's just a different perspective. It's like you get restless, irritable, and discontent, but just all around, not just at alcohol.
What are you saying, Andrea?
You're dealing with alcoholics.
Yes.
No, I mean, you can be like I'm an alcoholic, but I go to ACOA, which is a very similar program to Al-Anon. They're not exactly the same, but some of their common tenets are like taking care of other people or like finding distractions outside of yourself in either the form of taking care of other people or like obsessively doing things, perfectionism, workaholism. Like there's all these
control issues.
Yeah, exactly. So
you are nice in order to control your environment. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like I'm taking AA, I'm going to AA, and all these 12-step programs are generally using the same thing.
Yes,
you
they
know,
are.
Although you might have some of the similarities, or, you know, a few more of like the details are going to be similar, or whatever.
It doesn't matter. Like in Al-Anon, they say so alcoholics are addicted to alcohol, and I'm addicted to mood-altering men.
Sure. It's called
that's one of the Al-Anon jokes.
Emotional sobriety is what it's called, because it's like when you're lashing out in every possible form to try to feel control in your life, then it's kind of like being a drunk person. Like you're not actually intoxicated by a substance, but you're using everything in your life as a distraction from the pain. You're using it as a way to like medicate your pain.
And if this sounds like you, Google Al-Anon. ACOA is Adult Children of Alcoholics.
Yeah, it is fun when you're an alcoholic in an Adult Children of Alcoholics room, because you're like the problem, you're like their problem, but you're also like you fit into like I fit in every group.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm your nightmare, but I'm also you.
I like alcoholics in my Al-Anon groups.
We're fun.
Well, you guys are the ones I want to be with.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I'm there.
Yeah, you can get addicted to excitement, especially if you can generate it on your own, you know?
Yeah.
So it's great.
I mean, I just take the framework and I apply it to everything. And I'm like, I look at everything. I look at sex and relationships and gambling and food. I will use anything to hurt myself. So I'm applying this same principle to, you know, to not letting yourself use anything. I just stop, you know, and I say, what am I trying to escape by doing this? By overeating right now, you know, by pigging out or starving myself even. You know, if I'm going to fast for 3 days or whatever, it's like, well, what am I trying to avoid? You know, like
what's the worst thing you did while you were in the middle of that rage?
I killed the second prostitute.
I didn't want to do it.
I have this powerful knee, you see.
He's funny.
No, nothing too bad. I mean, like I used to punch holes in walls when I was like younger.
Yeah, samesies.
Yeah, but I haven't done
Is that fun?
It hurts pretty immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I regret it every time.
I got these big old knuckles that just love to go through walls. But then I just learned to punch hard things.
Yeah, but you also know how to fix walls, so it's kind of nice.
That's.
Yeah.
I learned. I was meditating once, and I was like, that might be why I'm a handyman and why my whole life, like I learned how to fix walls because I learned how to break walls first.
I carry around a stud finder. I'm never getting hurt again.
I'm right here, baby.
Oh yeah, do you know where you're punching right before you're punching?
Well, now I only punch hard things. I only punch brick walls. I only punch.
Oh, you're
marble.
recovered now.
I just know that I don't like to break. I know that I will have this anger, and I will tell myself, you're going to keep this anger with you until you do something that you'll regret. you know.
And then you do it.
And then, I mean, I try to, you know, like I try to do everything, the counting and the meditating and like the serenity prayer and all this stuff. And sometimes it works, but sometimes I'll still hang on to it. And then eventually I will just slam my phone on my knee and it's smashed into pieces all of a sudden.
Check his knuckles. Are they all look beat up, or does he know of a nice salve afterwards?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
No.
There's a little few marks
There's
here and there.
definitely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Not me. I check a wall. I'm like, oh, that's good.
Oh, no, yeah. I take the damage on my knuckles. I don't break things anymore.
You've punched a brick wall
All the time.
Yeah.
all the time.
Several.
You just said said
Several.
all the time. Several. Have you ever broken anything?
No. Very strong hands.
What?
You want to go out in the marble hallway? I'll punch walls right now.
I really do.
I will go. I will
Let's have a
go.
wall punch
I'll go
off.
toe to toe with a marble slab, and I mean, I won't win, but I'll survive.
I want to get something for him to punch.
You ever punch a wall and it's not as satisfying? Like if you crack your knuckles, it's like, oh, that wasn't that good. It wasn't worth us.
I do it until I do it until
Okay.
I get the pain. You know.
Oh, what should we have him punch? Oh,
Wow.
Me.
I'm a little excited.
Let's punch your fucked up leg.
Well, Hemden needs to go to another meeting, but anyway.
Yeah,
What is-
this is literal Al-Anonic happening. You're like, what can you fuck up in front of me, which would excite me?
It's very exciting.
Stop
Do we
frothing at the mouth.
Okay, we're good.
Do we
Hemden.
need
Yeah,
all
we're
the
good.
frames in this room?
We're good.
What do you think of that frame? We can get a different frame.
I'm not
No.
gonna punch a frame. I'll break that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh man.
And then like glasses
I don't
everywhere
know.
and you're bleeding.
I
That's
tried.
awesome. I want to see it.
What is wrong with you?
I
Yeah,
don't
What
know.
is
It's
wrong?
a
Something
lot.
is no. Let's think about it.
Yeah.
You
Let's
wouldn't
put this on you.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't let
Tired of-
you wouldn't let Richie go if he said a lot. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
I know.
So when you come back to, thank you, Andrea. When you
Sick as fuck. Goodbye.
she is the sickest, right? When you go back to Arizona,
Yeah.
does that refill your emotions in a good way?
No, that
It's
was
worse.
No,
Oh yeah, family.
No.
That sounds great.
I cooked Christmas Eve brunch for like 24 people,
And you gave
and
everybody
then,
duck bill.
and then Christmas dinner for 14 immediately afterwards. Like
And then you were mad the whole
I
time.
knew I was perfectly content. I knew where my place was, and it was just quietly working with myself, like not interacting with people, or else I'd fight.
What are you fighting about?
I don't know.
I think you do. I think you know.
No, I get antagonistic.
Why?
I don't know.
Just like the family stuff we see in movies like that?
Yeah, I think so. I don't.
Do you go? Why did you go?
I go into like glue mode. I go into I'm going to keep everybody together, you know? I'm just trying to keep everybody happy and
That's
keep
your
everybody
job.
fed. Yeah, that's the place that's the role that I've just chosen to fill.
And you knew
I
that.
feel like I'm in an Al-Anon meeting now. But continue.
And you knew that you knew it would be tough, but it's Christmas. This is what I have to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I like doing that. I like cooking, you know? It was just like it was the way that it was going to work out the best.
How'd it go? Did they appreciate it?
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Did you keep the glue? Did you glue them? Everything's fine?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, like there was some stress. There was like my grandparents were in town, and they were never nice to me. I don't like them. I don't like my grandparents.
So were you super nice to them back?
No.
What'd you say?
I made my mom keep them out of the kitchen so they wouldn't talk to me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
What if we have a lot of DVDs? What if we just stacked a bunch and he punched through that?
Like karate.
Yeah. What are we doing with DVDs? We'll get
don't know.
you have 15 albums. Let's do all 15. Hold them, and he
That
punches
doesn't even
through.
sound satisfying, to be honest.
If Ken does that,
We're trying to satisfy me, not you.
Okay.
I would play poker, and Hemda would be disgusted if I have MMA on the TV in the
Right.
background, right? She couldn't watch it. I don't know what's going on either, is my point.
This is a controlled environment, and I want to see someone punch through something. I think that's okay. Since when are we not into punching things?
You're
Keith?
odd. You're odd, and you're either playing dumb, or you need you're having a brain aneurysm. I've seen people on this show say they have trouble quitting smoking weed, and they're doing okay. Hemda goes, "Do you want weed?" As if that was the problem. Something's up. We got to look into.
Damn.
I just don't have the training.
I think he paraphrases things oddly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Andrea nodding. When did you get back from these adventures?
The 9th, the 10th.
Oh, so just a couple days.
Yeah,
ago.
just a couple days ago.
Are you
still
having-
homeless?
You having jet lag?
Yeah, I'm just getting over it. I think I've slept like 2 hours every single night for the last 3 nights.
Well, that I don't know about a pill, but that can't be healthy.
No, it's not.
How about a Unisom, for God's sakes? How about one of those?
I've been taking melatonin, but
no. Let me tell you about this stupid melatonin.
no, let me tell you. No,
anytime you can buy a bottle and there's 6 million of something in that, it doesn't work.
I think melatonin.
melatonin absolutely works.
Okay. And Hendo was telling you to break your head against the
Melatonin
wall.
absolutely works. It gets me to sleep. It helps me sleep. But
For 3 hours.
I am on.
For 3, you just said 2 to 3 hours, and now you're saying it helps get you to sleep.
Have you ever had 12-hour jet lag? Complete opposite jet lag.
Sure.
Have you?
Yes.
This is a nightmare.
What does that mean?
I was joking. I knew there were 21 countries. Can't be many more than that. Yes, I've been around.
No, Thailand is exactly opposite time here.
I see.
So, like when I'm falling asleep, I finally get to sleep at 1 in the morning or whatever. It feels like my internal clock says it's 1 p.m.
And
so
you can't take naps later?
No, but even that doesn't feel good because you want to get on the sleep cycle. I don't want to be sleeping, in the afternoon.
You buy a box of Unisom, you get like 12. You buy a bottle of melatonin, you get 3,000. Which one might work? You're an adult. Come on.
What do you mean?
Quit being dumb.
Who?
I want you to find sleep, and you're saying the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I feel like this is the what? What argument are you making here?
2 to 3 hours sleep, but melatonin works. Melatonin is a scam, and it's for morons.
What are you? Just because there's a quantity, you can buy a quantity of something?
Yeah, believe it or
So
not.
you go to Costco and you're like, this is bullshit. Too many ketchups means the ketchup isn't good ketchup.
Yes, you pay, you get what you pay for.
It doesn't work like that.
It does work like that.
Melatonin is like a naturally No, you know what it is?
Naturally occurring. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Melatonin can't be patented and is not part of the scam drug industry. Like, that's what we're talking about here.
Yes. Are you guys trying to just get off the punching thing? I'm so glad he's mad at you now.
I sleep 8 hours.
There's 1,000. That means it doesn't work. What argument is that?
What argument is this? Now, I understand, like, you don't have any sleep, so your brain's not
Look,
working
all right,
right.
you're
arguing sleep to me, who sleeps great every night. You don't. Why are you arguing
You
it?
buy a loaf of bread, you got 12 slices. You buy a bag of rice, there's 1,000. All right? There's a fucking 1,000 pieces of rice in there.
No, you would focus
Can
on...
I say the F word? I've been saying it a lot. Is that okay? Should I stop?
Today's going to take a lot of editing. But when you get the bread, what's expensive, right? The tinier loaves that are better with all the grains in it, right? Or the Wonder Bread, which is bigger and bullshit, right?
Well, you can buy big bread with grains in it, too. I think you're missing the grains. You're missing the actual ingredients.
And it would be more expensive, wouldn't it?
So it's not the fact that there's less pills. It's the fact that there's an ingredient that's patented and marketed.
We're talking about the price, and you know that. And I don't know if you... Do I look like an ex of yours? What are you doing? It doesn't make any sense.
You kind of look like an ex of mine.
See?
That was the best.
Okay, you sleep...
You got
now,
the forehead.
one of you punch through something.
I'll tell you what, you sleep 4 hours a night, we'll talk, okay? But for now...
I'm on so much like caffeine and pre-workout right now. I'm like jittery. I almost passed out in the shower in the gym.
Oh.
I joined Equinox.
How is it?
I'm a real New York elitist now.
Yeah, it's the expensive one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Why are you doing that?
Because Blink sucks and my friend goes to Equinox.
Okay.
So.
All right. I kind of thought it might be a different story somehow. Okay.
What?
All right, let me mention this.
Mention
Maybe this is good for you because you shouldn't be around people sometimes. Stamps.com. You don't have to go to the post office and deal with these animals. You can get your stamps right at home, no problems. You don't got to guess, what am I paying for this envelope? It seems a little heavier than normal. I'm not giving you a second forever stamp, government. You charge me enough for everything. I'm going to pay by the penny.
Yeah, the post office is where everyone's mad.
Yeah. No one has time to go to the post office anyway. You're busy. If you got time, look into yourself.
Do something else with it.
I mean, traffic, parking, lugging all your mail and packages, it's a hassle. Stamps.com is what you need, one of the most popular time-saving tools for small businesses. Stamps.com eliminates trips to the post office and saves you money. You get discounts on top of it.
Crazy.
It's wow.
I don't know.
Wow. Right now, You get a
kind of want them to go to the post office so I finally see someone punching something. But if you don't want to do that.
No, go ahead, Richie. You love the post office. Listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment, okay? Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in KATG. That's Stamps.com. Enter KATG.
I'm getting that digital scale.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
good.
Yeah, that's up Hemda's alley.
You did you fall in love with anybody on there? Because that's romance going to these different countries, right?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to meet anybody. I mean, I get so my whole life has been like just bad relationship after bad relationship. So I was like, just be alone, you know, for a while. But
can you tell when people are hitting on you?
I don't know. No. No, I
Somebody
will.
has to like really be in
okay, so no, actually this is really I met a girl there like the last couple weeks in Bangkok, right? And we had like gone to brunch and we were both going to meetings or whatever, but we were going to brunch and sorry, I'm all over the place. We went to brunch once, then like we didn't talk for a couple weeks, you know, and then I came back and I was like leaving in a week and she was like, "Hey,
came back to where?"
To Bangkok.
Okay.
I was like traveling. I went to, you know, down south Pattaya and Koh Samui, other islands in Thailand. Came back. She was like, "Hey, are you going to a meeting tonight? We should hang out." So,
she goes to the meetings too.
Yeah. So we went to a meeting.
Is that where you met her?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Scandalous.
Oh
boy.
Not supposed to.
Not supposed to talk to each
Now you say you're not supposed to because you're supposed to wait at least a year, and it's been how many months for you?
11.
Okay,
but
come on. I'm in another country and I'm a month short.
Yeah.
No, it's fine, but he's not supposed. You're not supposed to pick up people in AA. So if he's getting anyone's phone number, which you're supposed to, you can't get the phone number of a person that you could be interested.
Right. So
meaning like no opposite sex, and if you're gay, you have to like I don't know, kill yourself because
because it's just morally wrong. Yeah. So after the meeting she was like, "Yeah, we can go eat, or we can go like see a movie, or we can go swim on my roof. I have a pool on my roof." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's go swimming." So go over to her place. She's in a bathing suit. I'm in underwear, just talking the entire time, and
totally cash, bro.
Totally cash.
In my MeUndies.
And
code KATG.
She can't help herself.
That was a read. This is all a read. This didn't even happen. I didn't meet the girl. You guys, I'm reading a script this entire time. So I'm wearing these antimicrobial underwear with silver technology. But we ended up, we go down into her apartment. We're laying around on the couch, listening to music, talking.
Are you still chlorined up? I don't know why this is a thing for me.
Huh?
Did you guys take a shower after the pool? So you're still.
It wasn't
very
chlorine-y though.
Okay.
It might have been a salt pool. Who knows?
You would have noticed. Okay.
Okay. Would I have?
Yes.
Do you drink the? You taste it?
It gets in your mouth at some point.
I don't think I put my head underwater.
If there's salt on your lips, you would know.
I don't think I put my head underwater.
I'm gonna be okay.
Never touched my
I'm gonna
water.
be okay, never knowing. So you're with this woman.
So we're talking till 3 a.m. We're sitting around talking.
Are you thinking of sex the whole time?
I mean, yeah, it's just like we're definitely into each other. But here's the thing, that she wasn't supposed to hit on me because I was under a year, and I'm not going to hit on her because I understand what a fucking nightmare it is being a woman in general, like in comedy, you know, in the rooms. Like I get it, you know. And she was even talking about that, like all the old men just treat her like a dumb granddaughter of theirs or whatever. Like I just get it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to. You have every right to invite a guy over and just have fellowship, have friendship or whatever, and not like me lean in and kiss you. Anyways, we're there till 3 a.m. talking, and I'm like, all right, well, I gotta get going. And she's like, I mean, you can stay over if you want. And I was like, no, I should go. And I was like out the door, and she's like, don't go. That's crazy.
Oh.
And I was like, okay.
Ew.
So then I go and I sit on the couch. She's like, oh, you're sleeping out here? And I was like, oh, should I sleep on your bed? Is that what I should do? And she's like, yeah. I go,
where are you going to sleep? I'm a big dope.
She's wearing.
Honestly, I'm with Richie. I would still be like,
she's wearing a
here?
nightgown, and I
wait, a hot, sexy nightgown?
No, just a regular nightgown.
Okay.
I go.
Who has nightgown? You have a nightgown?
She's
of
British.
Course you have a nightgown.
She's British.
Right. Okay.
From
right.
London proper. So
what's she doing there in Bangkok?
For work.
Okay.
Yeah, she just had to go there for work. I don't know, but I lay down next to her, and that's it. And we just She slept, and I just laid awake for most of the night, like.
And I don't want to miss.
But
a thing.
it was
Did
like,
you
well,
spoon or
no, there was, and I'm like, just any signal, any like kiss, touch, whatsoever would have been like, yeah, okay, fine. But I am not gonna be. She's not gonna wake up to me like, like
there are
grabbing
other
her
options
or
than
whatever.
waking up to
Whatever. I'm not gonna like just reach. Like she has not given me. I mean, obviously, most people hearing this story are like, she's literally,
I don't know. I'm with you, Keith. How can you tell?
You put your head close to hers in bed as you're talking.
it's
Yeah,
just-
I would guess you guys just keep getting physically closer and closer.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah, there was like a little bit of touching, but it was just like I don't know. It's just I'm not gonna. I told you I'm not a shoot my shot guy. I'm not gonna always just be like, hey, who can I fuck today? You
So
know?
how did
Sorry.
it? Not that I mean, there's a middle ground here somewhere, but you're not on it.
No, absolutely.
So how did it end up working
So then
sexually?
we woke up and went and got coffee, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go rock climbing later on if you want to go." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she thought I was just being nice, but then
Did
later
you jerk
on,
off in the bathroom or anything?
no, I just slept kind of horribly.
You would have to jerk off in the bathroom, right?
I'm just going through a
It
time
was
right
so
now.
awkward.
No, just to go to sleep. Why is this weird?
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm not rock hard.
Oh, okay.
I'm nervous.
All right. I'm just thinking, like,
Well,
let it go.
Write down these issues as they come up, Kemda. Okay, you have a lot to talk
My
about this
goodness.
weekend.
We go rock climbing the next day.
By the way, I pictured the rock climbing, right? She's thinking maybe now he'll finally make a move, but he's taking it seriously and like beats her up the rock in
Of
2
course.
seconds.
No, we were rock
Yeah.
climbing. It was great. I was, she likes to rock climb, and like it was my first time. It was really fun. We go rock climbing, and then we're like, all right, we take the train home. We're like, see ya, and we just kind of like both looked at each other. She's like, do you want to come hang out? And I was like, yeah, I do.
But
I
I'm
was like,
getting real tired.
As
just
long as you're
staring.
not tired of me, I'm not tired of you. We go back, we hang out, and then finally, like I had just been kind of going through it in my head, but I was like. Later on, we were sitting on the couch, and I was like, I really enjoy your company. I'm very attracted to you, and if that's a problem, then I will not be, and we can just be friends or whatever, but I'm also leaving in 5 days. And she's like, no, I'm super attracted to you, too. And then, like, yeah, cuddled and kissed and hung out for, like, 5 days straight until I had to leave.
So you did have sex or didn't?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's what you call cuddling.
No, that immediately we just, okay, we kissed, and we did, like,
How was it?
it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But
You feel how uncomfortable I got immediately?
yeah, that's the thing. So you're not comfortable with sex. Did it?
It's just guilt and everything else. I mean, like I had to talk to my therapist about it. I was like, I shouldn't have sex with her. I shouldn't be hanging out with her. I shouldn't be getting any sort of involvement because I'm leaving, and I don't want her to feel bad. I don't want her to like miss me or anything
She's not
like
a
that.
child.
No, I know it's not. But
Will you actually be feeling this?
I don't ever want anybody to like. I constantly feel like people will regret knowing me.
Wow, that's too much.
Yeah, I don't mean to feel like a sad sack. I'm just like I've been going through it. I've been alone for 7 months, listening to all these things, reading all these sort of self-help things, and I'm just like accepting me for who I am and trying to change it. But
Is
it's
it
not
working? Did you get to a different place by the end of this 7 months?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very comfortable in my own, in my own self, like with myself.
Huh?
Huh?
What? What are
I'm
words?
comfortable. I'm comfortable talking about it. I can say over the last 30 years, this is how I felt.
I see.
I'm
Recognize
actively,
it.
I'm recognizing
Okay.
things about myself. I'm analyzing everything about myself, and I'm open to change. Like, I'm not just living in the nightmare anymore. I'm like, okay, this is,
Okay.
You've gone through step 1,
recognize. Well, yeah, I don't
admitting
know.
it.
I've done step 1, step 2, and step 13.
Did you bring condoms with you on this trip?
No,
Good question.
What did you do that night?
she had condoms.
Hello.
Does that make you feel weird
What?
that she had condoms?
No.
Okay.
I
I don't know
used
how
to-
deep you are. In
I
this.
used to be like very like insecure and like, oh, how many people have you how many partners have you had, like, oh, am I the worst or what? It's just like I don't care anymore. I don't think
How
about
was
that.
the sex?
Sex was great.
Yeah.
When you're in another country, after you
Mhm.
come in the condom, you're supposed to give it to them as a gift. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I swallowed it and I smuggled it all home.
Do you guys keep in touch?
We talked a little bit, yeah.
What's that mean?
I mean, we message each other or
Okay.
whatever, but
Are you
it's just
brokenhearted a little? because you don't like casual sex, so this must have meant something.
It did. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
You spent the first night staring at her all night, so that's romantic.
What we talked is like, no, you have to establish, some sort of connection. I mean, like, it's just to be on, like, it's just performance. Like, I cannot perform sexually with a stranger. I don't enjoy it. I'm all inside my head. I have trust issues from girlfriends, past. Like, my first girlfriend just like fucking told horrible rumors about me when we didn't even have sex. But I just have massive trust issues.
Isn't that funny though? Because like a one night stand would have nothing to do with trust. There'd be nothing. I'm trusting you.
But
with.
yeah, but they could say, I don't know. I have no idea. But it's just like
I could say about this American.
I just project the criticism, and I'm just like, I'm so inside my head. It's just not enjoyable for me. So it's like, I need to trust you.
How do you think you heal? You gotta go to another planet.
I mean, I have to.
They better colonize Mars, right?
Look at Keith's face.
I mean, if Bangkok's not doing it.
I mean, it's therapy. It's self-work. It's like you have to just go back through everything. You have to keep going back through every stupid little thing in your past and be like, recognize where it all comes from and be like, oh, that's wrong. You go back. You're an egotistical child. You think that everything that happens to you is your fault and that you're responsible for it. And you have to look back and be like, okay, I couldn't control that.
Right.
I couldn't control the scenarios and this stupid childhood paradigm that I've for some reason just worked in all the way into adulthood. It hasn't been serving me properly, but I still use it.
Look at him. He's ready to punch something.
I'm not.
Just
no,
let
I'm
me
not.
put it together.
I'm not. I just realized that I'm working on a very broken paradigm, a very broken set of rules.
Who's the most exciting superhero? The Hulk?
It's the most exciting superhero?
Yeah. I ask this of every guest.
Oh, God. I'm not really a superhero person.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's the Hulk.
Like the...
If I give you a shot glass, do you think you can squeeze it until it breaks?
shot glass?
Yeah.
I would worry about... No, I don't want to cut my hand.
Okay.
I don't want to...
Just seeing where you're at.
Yeah. I've had pretty deep cuts, but... no, I don't want to cut myself.
How long were you gone overseas?
7 months.
7 months. So
Yeah.
I'm picturing all these comedians that have to sit on boxes that the chairs are inside that you're not around to put together for them. Like, how many people's houses are all fucked up because you're not there to...
Yeah. No, I feel horrible.
Yeah. Oh.
Thanks. I needed a little bit more regret in my life, Keith. Could you tell I was a little low on feeling bad about things?
You said you're still homeless. Would you take live in a place for a month where it's like, oh, just fix this up and you can stay here?
Does that exist?
Sure.
Yeah, my apartment.
This offering.
I'm not even sleeping in my own bed because I can't reach.
Just once a day, you have to punch something and not use the bathroom when she's masturbating.
But then fix it.
Let me tell you something about self-help, may I? And I mean this. Audible I use, and you can hear their self-help books. You don't even have to take the time to sit there and read like we don't live in the future.
Yeah, you can actually say, oh, yeah, I read that book, but you have a secret.
Yeah.
Somebody read it to you.
With Audible, you get access to an unbeatable selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, motivation.
And it still counts, by the way, when somebody reads it to you. You could still say you read that book.
Audible members can choose 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook, and 2 Audible originals that you can't hear anywhere else. And Audible members also get access to exclusive audio fitness programs to start the new year off on the right foot. Listen on any device, anytime, anywhere. The home, the gym, your commute, Bangkok. Like, they'll do other countries. They don't mind. Here's what you do for this special offer. Go to audible.com/KATG or text KATG to 500-500 and listen for a change.
If you are on there, listen to The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It was really...
I was recommended that book.
It's so good.
Actually, my first self-help book I listened to was on Audible when I was driving through Ireland.
Yeah, because it's easy.
I broke into that whole thing, and that's where I was like, I broke down crying about like realizing how messed up my childhood, way of thinking was, and I still do that as a 30-year-old man.
Yeah, see what books get you.
Go to audible.com/KATG or text KATG to 500-500 and listen for a change. Get it? It's clever.
Mm-hmm.
The end. All right.
Sorry, I thought you were done earlier.
Richie, of course, you want to follow online at Unguided Nations, and the podcast is the same name. Episode 4 just came out of the audio version.
You could say you were there when.
You're going to run the New York City Marathon.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Supposedly.
You think that's going to help you? All right. This sounds like stress to me. Richie Tolway on Twitter and on Instagram, Richie Tolway as well. He's everywhere, okay?
Unguided Nations on Instagram is better. That's where I post all my real pictures.
No, it's a lot better. The video's always better.
I mean, I post my photography on Unguided Nations.
Oh, okay.
Like, I hardly do anything with Richie Tolway on Instagram. Just
Right.
saying.
No,
check out my photos. Check out my photos is all I'm saying.
Photos only, please.
I'm pretty good at photography.
Of course, to find Richie and all the rest of our guests, and also pictures of Keith's thirst traps, go to Keith and the Girl on any social media.
Oh, I've been getting people like crazy.
Yeah,
They
I saw
hit-
your nipples too many times.
They hit like and I go, idiot. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.